We are once more at Rila Monastery. I don't know why someone's always hammering wherever I video. The monastery is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of Bulgaria's most important religious and cultural centers. It was completely burned down to the ground twice, so the important parts, the frescoes, etc., are from the 1800s. I'll repeat again what a painted monastery is, or why frescoes were painted both inside and out, in case you haven't read the Romania articles about painted monasteries. The exterior walls were painted with elaborate frescoes and murals that portrayed biblical stories and important Orthodox saints. Keep in mind that the first Bible wasn't printed in Europe until 1455. And medieval peasants depended on oral recitation for education, usually received in church sermons. Priests began painting the inside of churches with vivid biblical images, portraits of saints, prophets, scenes from the life of Jesus, images of angels and demons, heaven and hell until they ran out of space. An aha moment when someone decided to continue the colorful folk art on the outside walls. Ivan of Rila was a Bulgarian hermit who settled in the region and devoted his life to fasting and prayers. The monastery was initially situated near a cave that St. Ivan lived in about, 2.5 miles away. The cloister got its present appearance in the 19th century. Hreylu's tower was built in 1335 to act as a fortress for monks in times of trouble, and it's the oldest remaining part of the monastery. It said built, burned down, built, burned down, rebuilt, and then everything was touched up last year. Or refreshing, shall we say? You can see them refreshing even as we speak. In 1865, Prince Boris I converted the Bulgarians to Christianity, and Bulgaria joined the list of European Christian countries. John of Rila, the miracle worker, was born around 1876 and settled down in the Rila Mountains to live there. A few years later, his steps led him into the wilderness of the Rila Mountains, and he dedicated himself entirely to a life of isolation and prayers to God. Rocks were his bed, and sky is covered. You would not believe how cold it is this morning here in the Rila Mountains. Where we stayed last night in Bansko was in the Pirin Mountains. Rila Monastery is naturally in the Rila Mountains. And the third mountain range, most important mountain range in Bulgaria, is the Rhodope mountain range, and our group hiked in all three 10 years ago. Beautiful hiking, beautiful. You can see around you pine trees, deciduous trees, gorgeous trails. As a person who has now also visited the painted monasteries of Bukovina, pardon me, my nose is running, I've got to say that I enjoyed the painted monasteries, the outside of them, more. I think the frescoes on the outside were more informative than these here at Rila. However, I suggest you visit Bulgaria and Romania and then make up your own minds. They are all beautiful. And just in case I'm confusing you, Bukovina is in Romania or can be considered in Moldova. It depends who is saying that it's their part of the country at any given time.